Looking back from session 28, the Kalanima party is a tight-knit machine, but the story began on a chilly November evening with a different lineup. Before Dimitri joined the group, it was Jace, Heron, and Oren sitting at the table, alongside early members Ophelia and Rudyard. The campaign opened in media res. The group was catching their breath outside a forest cave after defeating creatures that bled a viscous, hot pink blood. The story begins in the dirt and the dark. These 5 strangers are already exhausted, standing over neon gore and trying to find their footing in a situation that feels more like a crime scene than a heroic quest. While Oren advised caution, Jace pushed past some hay bales at the entrance. Using his spectral hand, he reached out and lifted a heavy canvas tarpaulin to see what the cave was hiding. He found a badly beaten dwarf in a magically sealed cage. The man's right leg was a stump, missing every bone from the knee down. He looked up with wide, terrified eyes and whispered, "You're not him. Let me out." This discovery bypassed the typical introductions of a first session. The party was instantly forced into a high-stakes rescue mission, where every second of deliberation carried a visible, gruesome cost. As Jace tried to scout deeper into the darkness, he banged loudly into the cave's clutter. The sudden loud noise summoned a pack of knifewings, small, carnivorous winged lizards that immediately swarmed out of the shadows. Rudyard responded by reaching into his inventory and pulling out a pickled halfling's arm. He chucked it over his friends' heads, and the knifewings immediately dove onto the meat, allowing the party to scramble into position. The combat that followed set the tone for the early sessions. Ophelia cleaved a creature entirely in half with one blow, while Jerez struggled to fend off a lizard that snapped at her ankle. Jace finished the fight with a magical blast from his gauntlet. He then looked over at the wounded cleric and offered the campaign's very first piece of party banter. "You go, Grandma Heron. You're okay now." Throwing a pickled arm at a lizard is pure, unhinged player chaos, but following it up by checking on a bleeding teammate with a nickname like Grandma Heron established the specific energy that would carry this party through the next 2 years. Pushing deeper, Jace found a chamber that shifted the atmosphere of the cave entirely. The walls, the desk, the chairs, even the floor were constructed from thousands of interlocking pale bones. Lit by flickering metal braces, a gray, long-limbed creature sat at the bone desk, reading a book and quietly gnawing on a snack. Rudyard proposed a pivot to stealth. He cast Disguise Self, shifting his appearance to perfectly mimic one of the upside-down head creatures they had encountered earlier. He walked straight into the bone room and struck up a conversation. When the creature questioned his voice, Rudyard claimed he had been cursed and successfully lured the creature out into the hallway for help. The moment the creature stepped through the door, the party pounced. Heron's Toll the Dead rang out, and Rudyard finished his own trap by sinking a magic stone into the target, dropping it instantly. This was a surgical ambush, a sharp contrast to the frantic brawl with the knifewings. In their very first session, the players were already demonstrating how quickly they could adapt to a threat. While searching the bone room, the party found a stash of fragile linens and costumes. Heron recognized them immediately. These were the specific goods that had been vanishing from her own town's trade routes. Hidden under the herringbone floor were invoices marked FA and an IOU from Finian Lightfoot, a Shideweg Keep council member. This provides the logistical backbone. These creatures are boots on the ground for a smuggling ring bankrolled by the town's civic leadership. The thrill of the discovery was cut short when Jace returned to the dwarf's cage. The magical lock was finally open, but the cage now held only a bloody, dismembered torso. The party was too late. This failure, paired with the discovery of Lightfoot's corruption, shifted the stakes of the campaign. It firmly established that in Kalanima, the villains have political reach, and the victims don't have plot armor. The session ended with one final burst of chaos. Jace successfully disarmed a camp of sleeping goblins, but the ensuing fight ended when Heron's final spell detonated a goblin's head, showering Ophelia in gore. Amidst that mess, Rudyard found a refuse pit, reached into the filth, and systematically fished out a leather purse, containing exactly 9 gold pieces. All the threads of the next 27 sessions were present in these first few hours. The trade route thefts, the council corruption, and the cage dwarf's tragic fate. The DNA of the series was established right here. Kalanima works because it never separates the absurdity of player choices